But Grant, let me ask you. I mean, how did you avoid playing the what-if game or what could have been game, considering the way your career began and the eye-popping numbers and performances you were putting up there, and then here comes all the ankle problems. And honestly, did you play that what-if game for a while?
You know, not really. You know, I think, you know, obviously I went through a tough stretch for about 4 or 5 years in Orlando, and you spend so much time trying to get back and trying to reinvent yourself and trying to still get a lot of joy out of playing. And so I didn't really have time to look too far back and reflect or play the, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, or the what-if game. You know, I was just trying to move forward and trying to, you know, contribute somehow, some way. And certainly understanding that my body had changed and there were restrictions and limitations, and maybe going through some of that, you realize it is a privilege to play at this level. And so I want to get back out there. And so I really, in a lot of ways, just going through all that and then coming back and being a different player, being a role player, I got more satisfaction probably out of that and those experiences than I did prior to that when I was kind of considered an elite player. And so just, you know, I think having an appreciation for, you know, being able to do this and play.
Catch them 4 years from now. What if game? I'm seriously. The what if game is still close to the game.
Right.
Because it's gonna hit him about 4 years later, and he's gonna say, "Man, what if?" Like, if I wasn't, because we'll start showing the highlights here at Turner, and we'll start. All of a sudden, he'll remember. He'll get back into elite player. Like for me, I was like, I had tendonitis that was chronic. And the days I didn't have it, I didn't feel anybody could guard me. And then days I had it, and I said, what if certain guys play their whole career, never had it. Like, never felt it, understood what that was like. But I didn't do that right afterwards. It was like 3 or 4 years after. I'm like, man.
I think for Grant, we all played the what if game for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
well
said.
How many times did you say
why
me?
Because I think.
Well, I did say that.
How many times you say why me, knowing that all you've been through?
But you know, I probably thought more about my Detroit years and maybe what if. Just being, first of all, a lot of you guys are contemporaries. So I played against you guys, so it brings back memories. But you know, it really was another lifetime. I've kind of put that way back in the memory.
But that's what makes you Grant Hill. You're humble. But I think the what if game from us, competing against you, watching you play, I have never seen anything like that. You didn't have a lot with you. And you
That's
made
a little
it easy.
disrespectful, but that's all right.
Well, I will say this, though. You know, it's funny, with YouTube now and things like that, my children, my daughter, who's 11, she'll get on there every once in a while. She'll like, Dad, you were pretty good. Like, you weren't always a scrub.
She doesn't refer to you as a scrub.
Dad, you can't guard LeBron. You can't guard Carmelo. You can't guard those guys. And it's like, man, like, you know.
Okay, it's coming out. It didn't take 4 years. It didn't take 4 years. Because you could. Think about that.
Right.
You just said you can't guard. And the first thing in your mind, and this is from athlete to athlete thinking, you like, I could guard LeBron and Carmelo and those guys. You picked that up right here,
I mean,
right now.
The competitor in you is there, but the problem was, and I didn't dwell on it, but I felt like you go into a fight and you don't have all your weapons. And so I could defend, and you're part of going against them and guarding them is giving them a dose of what you can give them.
Right.
And so I never really could, you know, so I figured out a way to try to be successful, try to contain guys like that, and try to help my team. But it wasn't, and really, I got a lot of joy out of that. I really enjoyed overcoming the injuries and playing and contributing, and obviously trying to go for a championship coming up short.
Better man than me, I ain't gonna lie.
How many nights when you sitting there, you say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm tired of rehab, and I'm tired of dealing with this. I'm done. How many times you felt like that?
You know, in Orlando, when we were neighbors down there, probably a good 3 or 4 years. And,
like certain days you come home, you say,
oh yeah,
honey,
no,
I'm
no.
done.
I mean,
I'm tired of
I
this.
had a surgery where, not to get all into it, but I had to have skin graft and
we talked about it.
staph infection, the whole bit. And I'm like, man, what am I doing? Like, you know, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. So for a good year, the year I sat out, I didn't want to play anymore.
Right.
But then you get healthy, you start feeling good. You say, oh, maybe I can get back out there. And so we all have played probably when we shouldn't have played. And I think you do that because you love the game.
The amazing thing is, too, and Kenny and you and I were talking about it in a commercial break, and you took your sock off.
Man, that's not pretty, man.
And we looked at your ankle.
Right.
And you said this is about as low as it's been. This is with the swelling at its low point.
And the smell was awful.
That's skin
I mean,
graft.
you sound
like my 11-year-old.
Do we do that on open court? Do we ask you to show us your ankle on open court?
You really want me to?
Yeah.
Okay, man.
I mean, it's nothing pretty.
No,
For
it's
you
not
children
pretty.
at home, be
Oh,
careful.
man.
This is the
Yeah,
this is the cost of success right here.
Yeah, it's 19 years, but it's this is.
Look at that.
If I had known, I'd have put some lotion on my ankle.
No, we let you slide.
That's the skin graft. That's the skin graft.
Skin graft, yeah, you can't really see it, but
What's amazing, you said 19 years.
19.